people think that East Hampton is strictly a place for wealthy people, movie stars, and there are a lot of wealthy people here. But I would say there are probably more poor people here than rich people.
Community is about taking the risk and vulnerability of being one with each other. If I can say that God made me in His image and likeness, in the divine image and likeness, then I also have to say that about every other person that I see.
People have a misconception that because this is the Hamptons, there are no problems, that there is no homelessness, that there aren't people in need of food or clothing or help with rent or paying their fuel bills. The ultra-rich eclipse the actual reality of our community. If you drive by the railroad stations in the morning, you'll see people looking for a job. They'll wait for someone to come up and say, you know, I'll give you $20 an hour for a couple of hours work. People tend to shut that out and they don't want to see it, but it's there.
The Hamptons have the problems that you'd find in any town in Long Island, real problems.
It's very hard to be homeless out here. First of all, it's so remote, and second of all, everything is so expensive.
Main Street in East Hampton has changed. It used to be mom and pop stores. Now it's high-end boutiques. The character of the village and the town and Montauk, Amagansett, sort of like being refitted in the image of the people who come out here.
There's a great need for help. There's very limited housing.
Maureen's Haven was started in Riverhead. It has been spread out to the North and South Forks. In East Hampton, we have 3 venues: the Methodist Church, the Roman Catholic Church, and the Jewish Center. And those 3 places have enough space to accommodate about 15 people overnight. All the other churches supply food, so they get 3 square meals. We try to get to know them, make them feel welcome and comfortable. And it's all part of the servant aspect of Christianity.
The fact that the necessity is now as ever it has been in the past. The amount of hatred that is spewed today is more so in many ways than I have encountered in my relatively long years on this earth.
I think the thing started really intensely. About a year and a half ago, a young Hispanic kid at the high school ended up committing suicide. That was the 3rd suicide in 3 years at the high school. Here in East Hampton, we have a very strong ecumenical clergy grouping. And so we were coming up for a meeting, and I talked to Monsignor Don Hanson, who at the time was the chair, and said, I think we need to discuss this. After we met, we asked to speak to the school board, the superintendent, the principal at the high school, and really basically asked them, you can in no way think that 3 suicides in 3 years, plus 1 anti-Semitic incident, is not extraordinary. And they understood that it was. So the high school has formed a steering committee that deals with parents, counselors, teachers, Reverend Katrina Foster and myself as members of the clergy, and the cleric as chief Lutheran minister, to try to figure out what we can do to help lessen some of this. In the process, we learned that there was a lot of social media bullying, and there was a great need for mental health care out here. We have one facility, Family Service League. You call them, you're going to wait 2 months before you get an appointment. Someone that's contemplating suicide can't wait.
Father Brunel gave me the opportunity to be a part of the clericus, to get a sense of what the real problems are and where the problems exist, and also to find out how we as a community can really help the Latino community, who is also a very vibrant part of this community.
And one of the things that I know that Denise is trying to do as a deacon in training here is looking at, if we all the churches brought our social justice and social action committees together, what more could we be doing and have more impact?
Church means community, means that sense of oneness. One of the prayers that Jesus prayed and asked his Father is for us to be one.
I get a tremendous amount of satisfaction from it, and a feeling of goodness and hope, really, that there are so many people out there that are willing to help in any way they can to just make someone's life a little bit better.
Our Christian faith says, love God with all your heart and all your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself.
To all in Christ's name we say, welcome. We need to mean that in the various diversity of life, everyone has to be welcome here. And that's a banner of what the Episcopal Church says, all welcome. and we need to put that into practice.